All right, so I just finished working out, and then I calculated so far my October premiums for October, and it's over $17,000 of just premiums collected. Obviously, that is a lot of money, no matter how much you look at it, and everyone's gonna always ask, how much capital am I using? It's around 270K. Of course, I use a little bit of margin to prolong trades and all that, but that's a lot of money. That's someone's full-time salary, or like half of someone's full-time salary, or it might even be, who knows. But the questions that I usually see is, how do I make money in the stock market? And this is the easiest way, in my opinion. Obviously, it takes money to make money. No matter how many times I say it on all these videos, it takes money to make money. Like 4% of $100 is $4, and then 4% of like $1 million is $40,000, right? I'm pretty sure my math's correct on that. So it's all about just continuing to grow your portfolio so you can make more and more money. And obviously I've hit a point where I haven't put any extra money into my accounts because I would rather use my money to buy like watches and other stuff like that, and try to trade those on the side. If you follow my Instagram, you'll see that I trade watches on the side. But that's besides the point. I get a lot of questions in these videos about, do I actually hold shares of anything? And for the most part, no. I do have a few hundred shares of Palantir, Tesla, and I want to say Webull. No, that's probably sold already, and QS, and a few other stuff. But to be honest, it's holding shares to me, it just ain't it, because I'd rather have my money being deployed in cash secured puts. And obviously, if I do play a play where I get assigned, I'll hold the shares and I'll do covered calls until they go past my strike and I have to sell them away for hopefully a profit. But at least I always sell at my cost basis, so I break even. But of course, I also collected the premium, so I actually made money on top. So that's what I do, and I keep wheeling and wheeling and wheeling. And I personally like to be on the cash side more. I don't necessarily like to hold shares because that means I'm stuck using whatever the option chain gives me on that stock itself. Whereas if I'm on the cash side and I have like 10, 20K opened up from a cash secured put, that means I could do a $100 stock play, or I could split that like 10K up between like 2 contracts of HIMS, or 1 contract of like Tempest AI, and 1 contract of like SoFi, or like 5 contracts of SoFi. Whatever I want to do, I could technically do it because the cash is readily available and liquid to be moved into whatever play I want to. That's why I preferably like to stay on the cash side. And when I do my covered calls, like say I bought a stock, I had to buy a stock at $50, I'll either put it right at my cost basis at 50, or really close to the money at like 51 or 52, because I'm very cool with selling for like the $100 or $200 profit, and the premiums that I collect, just so I could be on the cash side. Like, it's simple. I'll get the more premiums being super close to the money, and I'll get a little bit of appreciation. And then within like 3 weeks to a month, I'll hopefully be on the cash side again. The only time I won't hold a stock, for the most part, lower, like sell a stock lower than my cost basis, is because, especially if I'm doing it quickly, like I've done it with Tesla a few times, where I bought it and then the stock dropped crazy, and then I did a covered call under my cost basis, and it actually did get taken away from me. Then I get a wash sale, and then I can't write that off on my taxes. So it's better off just to put it at cost basis or above, and just continually play it that way, so you don't end up having to get a wash sale, or you just wait out a month and then you could sell it below your cost basis and go from there. And you just got to keep the trading as simple as possible, because when you overcomplicate things, that's when you start messing up. You start questioning why did I do that when something was working so easily? And that's what's working for me. And like a lot of people ask me, because in my Clock Out Capital Discord group, I share it with my friend John. Me and him trade very differently. He does a lot of credit spreads, put spreads, and I just strictly stick with my wheel strategy. And people ask me why I don't do those. And for the most part, is this is what I'm comfortable with, and I don't like to stare at the chart as much. I like sticking with my 4 to 5 stocks, well, technically 4 to 7 stocks that I consistently use, and I go about my day. And I personally like putting my plays out a month, so I don't have to look at it as often. And then that's pretty much it. I try to keep everything as simple as possible now, because that's just who I am as a person, and that's how I like to trade. So this is one of those videos where I'm showing that the patience that I've had, the money that has come in through the premiums, is finally compounding into these crazy gains. And then eventually this portfolio, like, remember I said by January I want to hit 275. I'm already there. So it's like, can I hit 300K by January? I actually think I can. And we will make some goals once December hits for the next year. And maybe that's going to have to be like a 400K or $500,000 portfolio by the end of 2026. So I appreciate everyone that has joined the free Discord. I appreciate everyone that has joined the premium side of the Discord, which is the cheapest Discord you'll ever get into, with the most value you'll probably get. And for the people that are brand new into selling options and want to learn exactly what I do have a course. And if you type in 36, I will give you 36% off of the course for selling options. And then I hope to see all you guys in the free Discord. All the links are in the description down below. And again, this is my journal towards seeing how far we could go in the market and seeing if we could buy our freedom. And thanks for watching, guys. Let's make a lot of money, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.